Hi, it's Storm from Ninja Bunny Crochet. Today I have for us to do these cute little cat coasters, or they can be used as a cat applique. You can put it on a bag or a blanket or a hat. They measure about 5 inches across if you count the tail, and about 4.5 inches tall. They're super cute. They're real easy to make. So let's just drop the camera down and we'll talk about the yarn and the hook that you need and anything else you might need to make these cute little cat coasters or applique, whichever you want to use it for. I use Peaches and Cream cotton yarn to make these coasters. This is a medium 4 worsted weight yarn. You do not have to use Peaches and Cream cotton yarn to make these coasters, but I would recommend a cotton yarn if you are making these as a coaster versus a applique. The colors that I chose is mint, sunshine, and pastel pink. The amount that you'll need per coaster is about a 1/2 ounce. So these balls come in a 2.5 ounce size ball, so you can get about 4 to 5 coasters per ball. So you don't really need a lot of yarn to make one coaster. You will also need some black yarn. I just use a little bit of scrap acrylic yarn that I have, or you can use some embroidery floss, whatever you have in your scrap bin. The hook size you will need is a G or a 4.0 millimeter hook. Today I'll be using my Clover Amour hook. You will need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle to weave in your ends. Once you have all your supplies, let's get started. Before we jump into today's tutorial, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's that little icon right down in the corner with my picture on. It'll automatically subscribe you to the channel, and don't forget to ring that notification bell. That'll let you know whenever I upload a video. And if you happen to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you happen to like my content. So to start the kitty coasters or the cat coasters, we're going to use a magic ring technique. I just think it works out pretty well for this particular project. How I make my magic ring is I take my yarn and I place it over my first 2 fingers, lock it down with my thumb, and I wrap it around and form an X on the back of my fingers. Place your hook under the bottom yarn, turn it, and grab that bottom yarn and twist it. Grab your working yarn and form a chain stitch, and you will have a nice little ring right there. So into that magic ring, we are going to be placing 8 half double crochets. So we're going to do 1. That first one's always the toughest one. 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. Now that we have 8, we're going to go ahead and pull our tail closed. Count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and slip stitch into that first half double crochet that we made, and that ends round 1. To start round 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 2 half double crochets right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. So 1 and 2. Now we are using a small hook, so we're going to have some nice tight stitches here. And 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So 1, 2. And to the next stitch, 1, and 2. Again, 1, So please continue this all the way around to get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 2. We now have 16 half double crochets. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. To start round 3, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to place 1 half double crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, and 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1 half double crochet into the next, and 2 half double crochets into the next. And that's our repeat all the way around. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So please repeat this all the way around until we get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 3. We have 24 half double crochet. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. To start round 4, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, be careful not to split your yarn. And we're going to half double crochet 2 times into the next stitch. 1 and 2. I'm going to half double crochet once into the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. And 2 half double crochets into the next. 1 and 2. So that's our repeat all the way around. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. So please repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 4. We now have 32 half double crochet. We're going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet that we made. To start round 5, we're going to chain 1 and half double crochet right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. I'm going to half double crochet 2 times into the next. Half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, or 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And that's to repeat all the way around. 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. Please repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 5. We now have 40 half double crochet. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. To start round 6, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, The yarn split there. Let's do that one again. 2 and 3. There we go. And we're going to half double crochet 2 times into the next stitch. 1 and 2. Half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then 2 half double crochet in the next. 1 and 2. And that is our repeat. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2. So please repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We are at the end of round 6. We now have 48 stitches, 48 half double crochet. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. To start round 7, we're going to chain 1, and this round we're going to start with single crochet. So we're going to single crochet into that first stitch that we made, that stitch that we just slip stitched into, and we're going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the next. 1, 2. Now we're going to be ready to start the first ear. We're going to double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. We're going to put 2 treble crochets into the next stitch. So we're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, make sure you get both loops there, and pull through the final 2. That's a treble crochet. I'm going to do that one more time into the same stitch. And we're going to put a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And that's our first ear. And I know it doesn't look like an ear yet, but once we complete the top of the head and the next ear, you'll see that it looks like an ear. So then we're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochets into the next. 1, 2, single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, then we're going to start our next ear, which is double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and my yarn is chasing us again there. Treble crochet in the next 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 2 double crochets, going to double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. And we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 single crochets in the next. 1, 2. So we're going to repeat that 3 more times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you put 2 in the next single crochet in the next stitch. Those are all single crochets. You're going to repeat that 3 more times, and you should have 1 stitch left. I'll meet back up with you when you have that 1 stitch left, and we're going to work on the tail. Okay, so I did my 3 repeats there. We have the 1 stitch left, and I just want to pull out my hook here and show you that if you flip it over, you'll see here's your 2 ears. So to work the tail, we're going to do a chain of 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now that we have our chain of 20, we're going to go second chain from hook. Loop on the hook does not count as a stitch. And we're going to be doing single crochet all the way back down the chain. So we're going to single crochet in the first 9 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I want you to skip 1 chain right here, skip this chain, and single crochet in the next 9 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that should bring you right back down to the body. Then you're going to single crochet in that last stitch on the body. And slip stitch to that first single crochet that you made. You want to make sure that that stitch is not loose like that. You want to make sure it's tight. And then you can go ahead and fasten off, but I want you to leave a good length of tail because we're going to sew a couple of these stitches together. Go ahead and just fasten that right off. And your tail should have a little bit of a bend to it. So it should have a little bit of a bend there where you skipped that stitch. So it should have a little bit of a bend just like that where the skip stitch is. So it bends. Just like that. Now let's grab our yarn needle. So thread up your yarn needle and flip your piece over onto the back side. So we're on the wrong side of the work. And we're going to just work our needle into the first couple of stitches on the body right here and on the tail. Just work your needle in just to a couple of the stitches because we're going to bring the tail in a little bit closer to the body. So 2 or 3 stitches, however you think it's going to look nice. So you can just flip it over and take a look and see if that's close enough, or if you want, go 1 more stitch. 2 stitches is usually about close enough, but if you want it a little bit closer, you can do 3 stitches. So that's 2. If you want it closer, you can go ahead and do 3 to bring that tail in a little bit closer to the body. So that looks good. So we'll do 3 stitches. And that's the same stitch that I'm going back into that we just worked. So it's not actually 4, I'm working into the same stitch. I'm just going to go ahead and work my yarn back through the same stitches to weave it under. And I'm just going to weave it under some of these stitches here to fasten it off. And then go back in the opposite direction here so that it doesn't work its way back out. I mean, you could knot it off if you wanted to too. That's really up to you. I mean, I don't suspect that this is an item that's going to be getting a lot of washing and stuff, but if you're worried about it coming apart, you could go ahead and knot it off. Don't forget to weave in your beginning tail, and then we'll be ready to work the little face. So here's our little cat coaster with the face embroidered on, and you can just put whatever type of face on the little coaster that you want. And here's our other 2. So if you've liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell so you won't miss any of my tutorials. Thanks for watching, and happy crocheting! Bye-bye!